So some exciting news. Returnal is out on PC finally. PlayStation and Sony, they're doing a great job of releasing their games on PC, sharing the love, not actually being selfish. Like, well, no, actually, they're one of the last companies to do this. So it is nice to see the PC just become literally the best place to go for gaming and continual gaming over generations. And Returnal, I'll have to say, is a very fun game, and it's fun on Steam Deck, but there's a lot that you need to know. So before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. First up, what is Returnal? Returnal is an action-adventure roguelike video game developed by the House Marquee and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment for the PlayStation 5 last year. And this year, 2023, has been released on February 15th for the PC. And Steam Deck is a part of the PC crowd. With that, you're following the story of Celine, an astronaut who crashes onto a hostile alien planet and is forced to relive her death repeatedly in a never-ending time loop. The game features fast-paced, a third-person shooter combat, platforming, and exploration elements. And essentially, if you want a sci-fi Groundhog Day, this is what you're going to get. It is, without the humor, of course. It is a fun game. It is very weirdly unique and has different levels that change enough to keep the gameplay fresh so far. But there are still some aesthetics that are just a little too samey for me, but it is a fun game. So, how does it run on the Steam Deck? Is what everyone wants to know. That's here if you're here for the Steam Deck. If you're here for the PC port is running good so far. The Steam Deck version it's one of those ones, it's doing better than the Callisto Protocol, which is like the nightmare level of like when a game releases, does the Steam Deck run it? It still has stutters. You can get it to run between 30 and 40 with some settings. It will dip into the 20s though, and a little bit more often than I'd like. So you get the stutterings, and it can even drop more so. But I've found so far with the combat I've had and the areas I've had, it's not too bad. It's when you get into the later game and get into more complex situations that you're going to run into some issues with this. While I still think it's playable on the deck, you're just not going to have the best experience. So if you only have a Steam Deck and this is the game you want to play, you'll survive. It's not the end of the world. It's just if you want to wait a little bit, maybe they'll patch it in. We'll see. But first up, these are the settings you're going to need. You're going to need in the Steam Deck performance settings in the QAM, that side menu, you're going to want to set the frame rate limiter to 40, and then you're going to want to set the refresh rate to 40. And just to keep those low, it'll help with the power drain. You could even set those to 30 if you really want to save some of that battery. It will hover a lot of times between 30 and 40, and maybe even sometimes be at 40. And my guess is if there is a performance update, it will rest at 40 most of the time. These are not very vast areas oftentimes, and so the rendering isn't too bad in the game. Then if we go to game settings, in the game, the overall setting, that top setting that will have like custom, low, epic, and all that, you're going to want to set that to low, and then when you go and change some stuff, it will change to custom, but just set it to low so you have most of the defaults set to low. Then you want to go to general, set the VSync to off. Then you're going to want to set the max FPS to 40 to mirror the Steam Deck settings. And then you're going to want to go to Screen Optimizations, Resolution Scaling. And then below that, you have the resolutions percentage slider that you can change to 70. That's been the sweet spot. If you go any lower than that, you're going to get some pretty bad degradation to the visuals. It just doesn't look that great. Honestly, if you get really low, it looks really bad. Now, I want to thank Loris for pointing out these initial settings. I did play around with it a little bit, but Loris in our community has helped a lot. The last thing on this, should you play it? The game is fun. It's a sci-fi game. I love sci-fi games. I like roguelike games, dungeon crawlers, all that. It is fun. It's really fun on the PC. It's fun on the Steam Deck. Could it be better? Yes, but it is fun. I don't recommend it at this time on the Steam Deck unless that's the only option you have. If you have another option where you have a beefy PC but you want to play on the couch or on the go-ish, you can play it through Steam Link and just play it from your beefy PC onto your Steam Deck. It will play fine. Then with that, also, this is another one of those titles where I kind of wait for it. A lot of titles I kind of wait to do this because patches come out, but I haven't seen a day 2 or day 1 patch yet for this game to increase stability or performance for the Steam Deck. So we're gonna have to probably wait a couple more days and maybe even a couple more weeks. This is one of Sony's less esteemed titles, so we'll see how much support it gets in the future. I'm assuming it will get patches, it will get whatever, but I wouldn't plan on it for this game. I would probably wait to buy this until it is ready if you're doing it for the Steam Deck. If you're doing it for the PC, then go ahead and buy it. My Steam Deck compatibility score for this is a 6. It's set at a playable. It is playable. Is it the best experience? No. And is it something that needs to be fixed? I think so. Like, I honestly think they can eke out some more performance into this to make it more stable and less stuttery. And it should be able to be in the 30 to 40 range. This is a fast shooter. The extra frames do help. And so this is a hard one where normally when it's like oftentimes in that 30 to 40, honestly, this game would benefit from a 60 frames per second and not even just the 30 to 40. It would be really nice to see this at 60 on the Steam Deck, but obviously that's not going to happen. But hopefully 40 at a more consistent rate, maybe in its future. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of this game on the deck? What do you think of this game, period? Do you like it? Do you have settings that you recommend over these? Like, everyone has those like sweet spots. And so this is kind of hard. I've looked at other people's settings and they're a little bit different than some of mine. So this is always interesting to see what you recommend. Thank you for watching. Check out my other videos. Check out the description below also. It has all the goodies, including sponsors that help pay for the channels to keep me making these videos. I really do love them. And I do have some more tips and other tricks and other videos that are in the works that are going to be coming out soon. I just been taking my time on those. And so these are a little bit easier videos to get to. Thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos once again. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Later.